As much as we look up to the stars and know that there is more than life on Earth, the divinity of dogs is just as unexplainable and profound. They may be the purest example of divine love in an earthly soul many of us ever experience. If we take their lead, open our hearts, and embrace their love, we may just find our own journey a lot more enlightening. Jennifer Skiff, The Divinity of Dogs. Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to Cosmic Hypnosis. I'm Bob, a hypnotherapist, and this session that we're taking a look at today is about saying goodbye to the best friend that I've ever had, my 13-year-old Beagle, Lucy. This session was recorded on August 27th, 2022, a handful of hours before Lucy passed away, surrounded by family in my living room. Early in my time as a practitioner, I began to experiment with my sister Amy in session, and we quickly realized that we could gain insight into how to properly provide for Lucy as she began to near the end of her life. We can't verbally talk to a dog, but we can gain that insight through the power of QHHT. This session was an attempt to go searching for answers through me in a session conducted by Alysse as a way to provide Lucy comfort as her time on Earth was nearing an end, allowing her to live out her final moments the way that she most wanted to. Through this session, we are taken on a journey throughout our lives together, from the day that I rescued her to the final directions on how to end the session and spend her final moments with her. It's an incredibly emotional experience, but allowed me to have closure in a way that most people aren't blessed with. It's my hope that by sharing this session, that I can be an example for what others can achieve when it comes to healing from the loss of their beloved furry friends. Losing Lucy was arguably the most painful experience that I've had in this lifetime, but it's an experience that's universal amongst anyone who is courageous enough to love another living being. One day, that relationship will come to a temporary end. As painful as that experience is, it's important to understand that we are all immortal beings living a temporary existence here on Earth. One day, we will all transition forward on to the next leg of our experience. At the end of this video, I've included a bonus clip from another session where we gain insight into Lucy's next incarnation. This is the story of my friend Lucy and how she saved my life. Enjoy.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much around me. I'm seeing a white pair of tennis shoes, but I'm not sure why. If I'm wearing them, I don't know.
Okay, so you're wearing white tennis shoes. Can you feel your body? Do you feel?
I feel like I'm male.
Yeah. Do you feel young or old?
Having trouble seeing.
Sometimes you can rise up and look down at yourself from a third person. It can help you see better.
I feel male, but I'm not seeing a whole lot.
If you keep looking and keep talking, the scene will lighten and you'll see more. What do you see around you?
Not sure.
You can look at your shoes and maybe orient yourself. Feel how you feel in your body. Describe how you feel.
I might be a teenager.
Okay. You're a teenager wearing white tennis shoes. Do you see anything around you?
I feel like I see my parents' street.
Okay. What's happening around you on your street?
I'm on a walk.
Is there anyone with you? Okay. So you're walking Lucy on your parents' street.
Yes.
What else is happening?
We're just walking.
How do you feel?
Happy.
How does Lucy feel?
Happy.
Okay, so we're on a walk, enjoying ourselves with Lucy.
It's a sunny day. It's a sunny day.
It's nice and sunny. What happens next? Where do you walk to?
We're just on a walk in the neighborhood.
Just enjoying yourself on a walk in the neighborhood.
Yes. Yes. Gets me going outside.
Why do you need to be going outside?
Because I don't.
Why don't you?
I don't have a reason to go outside.
So Lucy was there for you.
I wouldn't leave my room.
Why wouldn't you leave your room?
I was dying.
So you were sick and didn't want to leave, and Lucy's giving you a reason to.
She saved me. I feel like Lucy saved me.
Saved you from dying.
I was very lonely. I was very lonely.
But she was your company. She was your friend.
My only friend. She was my only friend. Everybody abandoned me. But her. Lucy was always there. Always there. Always happy to see me.
Dogs can be very friendly like that.
We
and
were
comforting.
we were best friends. We are best friends.
Would you like to continue on this walk, or?
I just need a minute. I'm just trying to remember the walk.
I understand.
Okay. A sunny day, walking down my parents' street. Anyway,
You guys are enjoying this sunny walk. Would you like to move forward to another important day? A day that you consider to be important when something is happening? We have now moved forward to an important day. What is happening? What do you see?
we're just inside my parents' house. We're in the living room. My sister's there. Amy. I see us playing with the dog.
Okay.
Amy used to sit in the chair with her a lot. Used to watch TV with her when I was sick and couldn't see her in the living room, just playing with everybody, playing with my dad. I used to play tug-of-war a lot.
So Lucy was there for everybody else too?
Just part of the family. She's just part of the family.
So are you with them in the living room?
Yeah, we're all kind of there.
You're just having a good time playing with Lucy?
Yes. She's very happy. This is very hard for Bob.
To see these memories?
It's just a hard process.
Okay.
Lucy is... She used to like to run around the living room. She'd run to one end, then run to the other end, and then run to the other end in circles. She used to run up the couch, and she'd bring you a toy if you weren't playing with her. She'd always remind you she wants to play. She wouldn't take no for an answer. Didn't matter. Didn't matter if I didn't want to play. And it didn't matter if I didn't want to go for a walk. Lucy wanted to go. So we went.
Sounds like you were good to her. You are good to her.
We've been there for each other through a lot. Always keeping each other going. Bob would have never rehabbed from his sickness without her. She pulled him out of the house and put him back on his feet. He would have died without her. It's a perfect storm that needed a lot of people to come together for him.
But she was in...
She was the key. He always knew that he wanted a Beagle. That was a female.
So he knew she was coming to him.
He knew. He knew she'd come eventually. It wasn't a things don't always fall into our lives in the most clear, opportune ways, but when Lucy came along, Bob didn't let her go. He just knew it was meant to be.
He needed her and she needed him.
Yes. Bob saved her and she saved Bob.
Is that their contract in this lifetime?
In part.
Okay. What's the other part of their contract?
To learn and grow with each other. Bob's to teach her love. Unconditional love. He fights for her and doesn't waver. She's taught him patience, helped prepare him for Henry, helped Bob grow. It was important.
It's very important. They needed each other.
Yes, but there's still decisions to make. Everyone has free will.
Would you like to talk about those decisions?
What decisions?
That they had to make? Or was it just that they had to choose
Just
to
in your
be?
day-to-day, everybody has choices to make. Bob didn't need to rescue a dog. He chose to rescue a dog. He could have easily passed up when his mom and dad wavered. He could have said it wasn't meant to be and given up, but he didn't. He fought for Lucy because it's what he does.
Okay.
But at any moment, anybody has the choice to go right instead of left. Some people have the foresight to see their decisions play out, and some people do not. But every decision you make has a consequence. Some of them are for the better, some of them are for the worse, some of them are neutral. But every decision we make, a series of life events will play off of them.
Okay.
In this case, it played out for the better. Two souls were able to grow and evolve with each other. It's not always an easy process.
No, it's not. This one seems to have been very beneficial. Fairly easy.
There is a lot of love in this relationship. There always will be.
You can move forward if you'd like and get some more scenes and move forward to an important day. A day that you consider something is happening. We have now moved forward to an important day. What is happening? What do you see?
We're getting married.
You and I?
Well, kind of see two scenes here.
We can describe one and then move to the other when you're finished.
I see us moving into the condo, and I see our wedding.
So those are two very important days. Would you like to focus on the day we moved in?
Yes.
Okay. What's happening?
We're just moving in, and I just see us moving in, and we're all very excited, and Lucy's excited to be here with us, and we're transitioning into a new chapter together, and Lucy's just very excited to be here. It's new. We're excited. I had just finished painting. We were moving our things in, and Lucy was still pretty young at the time. And nervous, but excited to all be together. A little confused, but
she understood we were moving in together for...
she understood that we were coming together as a family. She felt like we were her family. As we added to it over the years, Lucy and Larry love each other very much. We were able to develop a family. Non-traditional family a non-traditional family in the eyes of many, but not for Bob and Alysse, because of where they come from. They don't look at family the same way. Alysse understands the cats are family. They are her blood. And Bob looks at all living beings like they're on his level. Doesn't matter that Lucy's a dog. To Bob, she's a soul. And that puts her on his level. Doesn't matter where Bob is in his evolution. He's no better than Lucy. Lucy is no worse than Bob. People need to understand that. Just because you have a pet does not mean that they are below you. Does not matter what your pet is. Does not matter if you have a bird. Does not matter if you have a whale. Does not matter what your pet is. We're all here to learn and grow. That is why we are here. It's not about what you can do for me to make me feel good. It's about what we can do for each other.
And all of us were there together, doing for each other. Coming together to be
It's been a very loving family for everyone. While other people may not understand the family dynamic, Bob and Alysse know that it's a family. And Lucy and Larry and Lily know also.
Okay. Would you like to keep looking at that time, or would you like to move forward to the other scene, the wedding scene?
Lucy enjoyed her time here more than Bob realizes.
On Earth in general?
At the condo, Bob worries, but he's wrong.
You mean in regards to her not having space?
Yes. She doesn't care. She just loves her parents, Bob and Alysse.
It was the right home because they were here.
Alysse knows this more than anyone. Home is where your people are.
It's true.
You can have your planet exploded. You can still have a home.
Okay. She enjoyed her home here, the condo. It was the right place for her all along.
Being with each other was the right place.
Okay. So it wouldn't have mattered where they moved as long as they were together.
Yes.
Is that true for most people? Is that something that people need to look at a little differently? Maybe?
Things mean different. I'm concerned about Lucy in this moment.
Okay. Would you like me to pause?
Yes, please. I will pause.
I'll be right back. Just keep breathing deeply.
Is she okay?
She's alright. She was just adjusting and her butt slid off her.
Is she on the pad?
She's half on it.
Okay.
She seems comfortable. Alright. Lucy's okay. I brought you some Kleenex in case you need it. Nice your hand. there anything else we should know about Lucy in the condo?
What I was saying earlier was that home can be anywhere for people that have love to give each other. Home is what you make it. Some people are better at that than others. But a lot of people struggle to understand that and struggle to look below the surface of their relationships and come together. Bob and Alysse don't have that problem. But many people on Earth do.
So they have a loving home in the condo. Mrs. enjoying herself and excited. Would you like to compress space and time and move forward to the wedding day that you saw?
Sure.
You can condense space and time.
I just see Lucy looking at us. I just see us.
How does she feel?
She's happy to be there with us.
Does she understand what's happening?
Yes. Lucy understands. She's excited for me. Lucy's excited for us, both of us, but she's excited for me.
What is it?
And how far I've come. She's glad that she was able to share the moment with us. Because now, for all of our lifetimes together, it was important because now, when Bob and Alysse and Jason and Dawn and Amy and Ryan look back on their lifetimes together, they will all share the memory. In a future lifetime, if each of them was to lay down and do a session, they would all recall the same moment. Lucy being there and sharing that memory with you. Lucy will recall it also.
She had a pretty big impact on everyone then.
Yes, but it's also just a moment in time. And all of the participants in that moment have the ability to recall the moment.
Okay.
Lucy was very proud for us, very happy. She was glad to be a part of it. It's a pretty day.
It's very pretty. What else does Lucy feel about it? Anything?
Bob never thought he would be there for that. That he would be there.
Right.
He was never supposed to make it to that day, according to a lot of people. But he always envisioned it in his mind. Even when he didn't know who was standing across from him. Bob has the ability to dig down within himself. When the odds are not in his favor and when all hope is lost. Sometimes it only takes his connection with other people to get there. You, Amy, and Lucy. Those three souls are why Bob will be able to do his work. Bob put in the work himself. Sure. But he could not have gotten there without them. They all played a very pivotal role in his life. And he will be forever grateful.
I'm sure they feel the same.
Yes. They do. In their own ways. The way Bob has impacted them is slightly different than he has impacted, or they have impacted him, but nevertheless, they have helped each other.
Their souls helped each other and grown together.
She was very thankful and happy to have been Bob's, I don't know, best dog, for lack of a better word. Bob had talked about it for a long time.
We were very glad to have her there. Is there anything else that we should share about the wedding day?
Just that Lucy loves you guys very, very much. Both of you.
You love her too? We can move forward now to an important day, a day that you consider to be important where something is happening. We have moved forward to an important day. What is happening? What do you see?
It's hard for me to tell. I don't really want to talk about this out loud. But I think I'm saying goodbye.
Okay.
I think it's I just have this sense of dread.
You know it's coming.
She kind of let me know. She's just not really doing a whole lot. And she's just giving me the look. She is this is hard for me to say out loud. She is just a look. You just know she loves me. She's tired. She's just ready. She's ready to transition forward.
Does she have a message for Bob at that time?
She just loves me. She's thankful for the journey, the memories, the growth. She loves Bob. And then she will come back. Then she will come back to him. Through Mako. But I have to let her go. So that she can come back. So that she can come back to me. I do okay. It's never easy losing a friend. Fortunately, Bob has lost many. And this won't be the last. It is the cycle of life. We all will die in our earthly bodies, and our souls will carry on to the next incarnation. The absence of the physical presence is very painful at first. But there is also always a spiritual presence that remains, both in the dream world and the physical world.
So she'll always be with him?
She will always be with Bob. He just has to close his eyes. He sees her face all the time, just like he sees Dylan, just like he sees Mako. Henry talks to him more than he comes to him. But Mako comes to Bob every day. Mako is Mako is here now. She just keeps saying, "It's gonna be okay, Dad. It's gonna be okay." And I know it will. She's going to be a good love to Lucy. We're going to raise her right. And she is going to be able, even if we're old, she is going to be able to love Lucy like we loved Lucy. And she's going to be able to give her an entire lifetime in human form and help her grow with the lessons that we instill in our children. And those lessons will be instilled in Lucy. And our soul family will go on to live in other incarnations where we incarnate and we live out our lives together and we learn lessons. And then those lives will come to an end. It will transition away. Well, sometimes Bob will go first. Sometimes he will not. Sometimes Alysse will go first. Sometimes she will not. Alysse has lived a life as a cat. That wasn't easy for Larry to say goodbye to her. Owen. But he did, because that is the circle. And we agreed to do this out of love for each other. It's not supposed to be terrible.
Hard as humans.
Very hard.
Because while we know those things, it's hard to adjust to the loss of the physical.
It's always hard to say goodbye. Never feels like there's enough time. But there's always time. Your soul will live forever. Lucy's soul will live forever. And Bob's soul will live forever. You will come together again. And as painful as this experience is, and as much as you question whether or not you're doing the right things for Lucy, this is better than being taken outside and shot in the back of the head. Like what happened to her on that plantation. This house is full of love. It's not full of hate. And Lucy feels that. She feels the love. Just like the both of you do. You feel the love between you two of you. Bob feels the love that Alysse has for him. And he feels the love that he has for Alysse. And he needs to understand that Lucy feels the same way. Lucy feels the love that he has for her. And he feels the love that Lucy has for him. And Alysse feels the same. Not just about Lucy, but about Larry and Lily. And those bonds are the same. Different, but the same.
Is that why you chose to bring these memories forward for Bob to see today?
Bob needs to just remember the good times. He needs to understand that this relationship was formed for a reason. Bob and Lucy made a contract with each other. And they've done the best that they both could to fulfill the contract. Bob just needed to see these scenes again. Not just for today, but for the future, and hold on to those good memories, because there's many of them. And Bob was fortunate in many ways despite his disability. Bob beats himself up a lot about his limitations when it comes to his physical activity level over the years, or his time spent with Lucy, or his mental health. But what he needs to remember is that if he was not handicapped, for lack of a better term, he would have never been home. Ever. He would have been working. He would have been going to school. He would have been pursuing relationships with friends or women or whatever. Instead, he was around Lucy. And despite the time they spent away from each other when he was sick, she always wanted to be with him, and she was always fighting for him. She always cared about him. He cared about her. But he was able to spend more time with her than any other person spends with their dog. And it's important for him to realize that. The time they spent together was invaluable. Even just her smile changed his entire life. It's a relationship that Bob will never forget. And Bob just needs to understand just the cycle. That's all.
What would you say that the purpose of showing those memories to him was for today?
To help Bob just recall the good memories, to help him see the bigger picture. Bob and Alysse sometimes get bogged down by the details. Bob is really worried about doing the right thing for her and making the right decisions, and he's just very, very concerned about how to proceed. And there's just a lot of questions when you get to this point in a relationship with an animal. And we just wanted him to understand that he did the right thing. He's doing the right thing. That put everything in a little bit better context for him, helping him try to heal through this transition period, because it is a painful process. Trying to let him process some of the emotions, a healthy environment, positive way, where he can get insight, not just wonder, because otherwise he will wonder. He will beat himself up, just like if Bob did not get this insight today. He would punish himself because Bob doubts himself a lot. He doubts his instincts, and he would punish himself like he punishes himself for the Dylan stuff. Bob would blame himself forever that he made the wrong decision. There's thousands of decisions that Bob has had to make in the last week, and he would question every single one of them, wondering if this decision or that decision was the one that broke the camel's back, so to speak. But we all choose when we go. Bob can't make that decision for another soul. They make the decision for themselves. As hard as that is to realize.
Is there anything else that Bob needs to know from the scenes or images you've been showing him?
He just needs to remember that while there is a cycle, that the relationship never has to end. Relationships on Earth only end because people believe that they end, but they don't. The connections that we have with other souls go on while we are in the physical and when we are not. Bob has a very deep relationship with his grandma. She sends him blue jays all the time. They were squawking at Bob and Alysse when they were in West Virginia. They couldn't see them anywhere. Bob didn't see a single blue jay, but he heard them because his grandma sent them. It was his grandma's way of being loud and saying that she was there, that she was always watching. And then when you got married, she had corralled all of your children, because that is what she did on Earth. And she let the boys go off on their own, but she stayed with Mako, and they sat on a bench together and watched us get married. While Henry and Jackson sat on the bench, Henry was kicking his little legs that didn't reach the ground, excited for his mom and dad, because he knew that once they got married, things would begin to roll downhill. His dad will get out of his own way. And before he knows it, he will be Earthside. And Mako will be soon behind him. And your lives will be changed forever. Unfortunately, in your eyes and Bob's eyes, part of that process is Lucy transitioning out of your life. But as the wheel turns and you say goodbye, you say hello. You will say hello to Henry. And you will spark Bob. And you will see things in him that you have never seen. And then Mako will come. And after Mako comes, then Lucy will come. It's not by forever. It's just we'll see you later. And we can congratulate her on mastering this course of Earth School as we prepare to welcome her back for another go-around so that she can reincarnate and help humanity grow just like we are. There's a lot of work to be done here. Bob's not done, and neither is Lucy.
So what Bob starts, Lucy will continue?
The whole family will continue what Bob starts. Bob looks at the world in a very unique way. He believes in creating a dynasty. You don't do that in a single lifetime. It's very difficult to pull off. Bob wasn't able to set up his succession in Egypt, and he learned a very valuable lesson from that. You always have to be ready for the unexpected. He will inspire Henry and Mako. One of them will follow in his footsteps, at the very least. The other will go on to help the world also. But it's hard to say if they both will follow exactly in Bob's work. But it doesn't matter if they do. Bob's work isn't to teach his children to be QHHT practitioners. Bob's work is to inspire, so that people can go impact the world with their gifts. Jackson will do so by playing hockey. And at face value, someone would say, well, what does hockey have to do with changing the world? Well, there's an awful lot of children that look up to John Cena. Most make a wishes ever fulfilled by that guy. There's a lot of kids who look up to athletes. It's how Jackson carries himself that will make a difference. He can use that platform to share his goodness with the world in his own way, just as Bob is using his platform to share his goodness. And you will both inspire Henry and Mako to find the talents within themselves and pull those out of themselves. And they will go on to impact the world with that. And then Lucy will come back through Mako and inspire the world with her gifts. All because you and Bob started this cycle of love. It is the love that you have between each other and the love that you have within yourselves, and the love that you show your family that create that healthy environment. And you can then turn outward and spread that love, helping humans who don't always deserve it, but helping humans grow and prosper in ways that they can't without you. And it's not just you. There are other people incarnated on Earth to do the work. Some of them are humans, some of them are not. You are not. All things Bob has to remember as he goes through this transition period in his life. However long it may be.
Well, very important lesson to learn. So let's drift away from that life. Those images. We're drifting and floating away from that life, leaving the man there to continue on his own journey, He will find peace. He will find what he is supposed to find. We're leaving him there to continue on his own journey. He will find peace. He will find what he is supposed to find. We are leaving him there to continue on his own path. Now I want all of the subconsciousness and personality of Bob to once again return to the body and fully integrate back into the body. May I speak to Bob's subconscious, please?
Yes.
Do I have permission to speak to Bob's subconscious?
Yes.
I respect the power of the subconscious because I know the subconscious takes care of Bob's body and does a very good job of it. I also know that the subconscious has the records of everything that has ever happened to Bob in this lifetime and all the other lifetimes he has ever lived. So I respect the power of the subconscious, and I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do I have permission to ask questions?
Yes.
I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Bob to see today. You chose to bring forward this life for him to see. Why did you pick that lifetime?
Bob and Alysse are going through a transition period right now with Lucy. And it was important that Bob see those things, process some of the memories, and understand that there is a cycle and that this is not the end for Lucy and this is not the end for the relationship. While it is extremely difficult to say goodbye in the moment, there is more to learn from each other. There's more growth to be had. Your souls are eternal and they will live on forever. As difficult as it is for this process to play out, it has to play out. You're doing the right things. You just have to continue to stay strong.
You were telling us that you brought this forward so Bob could see the transition that's going to be happening soon.
Yeah.
Bob has a lot of questions about Lucy. Should we start with those?
Ask Lucy questions.
Okay. Let's focus on Lucy. The overarching question is, how is Lucy doing?
She's been better.
What is causing her not to eat at this time?
I'm very concerned about her right now. She's going to struggle to try to stand up. There's not a whole lot you'll be able to do for her.
Okay, so Bob wanted to know what was causing Lucy not to eat.
It's just a perfect storm of progression. Things are just progressing.
Is there something we can do to get her to eat going forward?
You can keep offering, but it's up to her to eat.
He's concerned that he should maybe give her some RSO, but he's worried about her eating first.
There's a lot of things at play. You need a delivery method for the RSO. She hasn't eaten since Tuesday. Today will be the 4th day. It's not looking favorable.
Is there any way you can tell us how much pain she is in? Maybe on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm an 8. 7, 8.
Is there anything we can do for her to help ease the pain at this time? Or is getting her to take medicine is pretty difficult since she will need it?
This is a little hard for Bob to navigate these since, like, that's the right word. Sorry, I have a headache. Keep giving her options, but there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Unfortunately, it's up to her to eat. Everybody has decisions to make. Bob had them when he was sick also. There were many times when Bob turned down food also. Getting the RSO in her might help a little bit, but there's problems that it causes of its own. At the same time, she's not eating currently, so holding out to give her food on the 5th day versus the 4th day, what's the difference there? Right?
So you're saying we should just keep offering the food, not hold out? Or are you saying
What I'm saying is if you did give her medicine, it's already been 4 days that she hasn't eaten.
Is there any concern that if we get her to take the medicine and
Yes.
her time, is that, I guess my concern is, will she not be aware? Will it be, like clouding her final moments or something, if that's the case?
You can try to give her a regular pain pill tonight, this afternoon, and some other food. Perhaps a croissant or something. But she hasn't eaten. Bob doesn't even recall consciously the last time she ate pills for him. Like a wrap of lunch meat pills. It's been like a week.
Right.
And all you can do is keep offering, keep loving, keep doing everything that you've been doing.
Okay.
But she has decisions to make. Also, on a soul level.
Bob was worried that taking her on the trip was a mistake. Was it?
If you didn't take her on this trip, she might not have seen you get married. Very likely she would not have. Because she was getting hit or miss a little on some of the things anyway. Bob had to hold the pills in her mouth while she chewed, and she was more gingerly taking food, and there's a lot of variables here.
He's worried he did something wrong that's causing her not to eat.
No, it's nothing Bob really did. He was just seeing the white chocolate thing, but I don't think that's really the cause of anything.
It's a hard question to ask, but he wanted to know if you could give us insight into how long she has.
maybe a couple of days. If anyone has anything to say to her, they should come over today.
Okay. Why was there such a drastic change in the timeline that we originally had? Originally, Amy had said, next summer, and was it just circumstantial, or was it her decisions?
It's unclear. They're her decisions. It's unclear to me.
Okay. Is it possible that at this time we can send Lucy some white light? Help her feel better?
One moment.
I'm sorry.
One moment, please. We are stand by. Okay.
Are you receiving a message from Lucy?
I was just sending her white light.
How do Bob and Alysse best support each other during this time?
Love each
And how
other. Be
does
there for Lucy. Let her know you love her. Keep trying as best you can.
Okay.
She refuses. She refuses. She will pass naturally.
Okay.
In the night.
Similarly to how Amy had said in her regression?
I believe so.
So
And when I say days, I mean if it stays in this current trajectory, if nothing changes. It could be tonight, it could be a couple of days. Hard to say. It's up to Lucy. Bob has gone a long time in extreme circumstances. So is Lucy. It's hard to say. There are variables at play, but there's variables.
Okay. Bob's curious how he should best spend his time moving forward. What does Lucy want him to do?
Bob should allow his parents to stop by today and allow Amy and Ryan to stop by to see her also. And when they do, remove himself so that they can spend time with her.
Okay.
And then spend time with her himself and bring her in here tonight. Should clean the side of Bob, help Bob clean the side of the bed. You don't need to make it perfect. Just put all that shit in bags and just move it for now. To go through it later doesn't matter. But if you're in here, bring her in here. Just keep her close to you. Let her know you love her and just baby her a little bit.
Okay.
She's letting you, so just do it.
How does Bob make Lucy the happiest and most comfortable that she can be?
He already is. Just keep loving her and let her know she's part of the family and that you love her. Just keep on keeping on with what you're doing.
Okay.
Alysse and Bob just need to lean on each other and understand that it is part of life.
Okay. Does Lucy have any messages for Bob today?
She loves him. She's happy for him. Not to be sad. It's hard on her seeing her parents so upset. She doesn't understand that they're upset. She doesn't understand. She just wants them to be happy. It's hard for her because they're upset. I think she's holding on because of that. She doesn't want them to hurt. But you just need to keep telling her you love her. Keep being positive, sharing those messages. Giving her head pats from Alysse. White light her. Touch her. Don't stop.
Does Lucy have a message for Alysse today?
She loves her mom. She loves you a lot. She appreciates all the sacrifices you make for our family, all the hours you work, food you make for her, time you take her out. She knows that you didn't like dogs when you started dating me, but she knows that you love her as if she's your child. She knows that you look at her like you look at Larry. Slightly different, but she knows that you love her. She loves you very much. She sees and acknowledges everything you do for me and her. She loves you deeply, just as she loves Bob. You have both helped Lucy a lot.
Does Lucy have a message for Amy today?
She loves Amy. One of her favorite time was spent laying on the chair with Amy, watching TV, hanging out with her. She misses her not being around every day, but she loves her dearly and she enjoyed the trip. She loves and misses Ryan. But it's all positive stuff.
Does she have any other messages for Ryan?
She's coming back. She's just so thankful for the love that they have shown her and the love that they have shown Bob, because she can't always be here for him, but she knows that Bob is loved and protected by those that are around him. His sister, Ryan, Amy, Ryan, and Alysse.
Does Lucy have a message for Bob and Amy's parents today?
She's very thankful that they allowed her to come into Bob's life. She's very thankful that Bob's dad has spent all the time playing with her. She loved the tug of war. She says that she is the reigning undefeated tug of war champion of the family. She wanted my dad to know that. That he will always be the runner-up in tug of war. But she loves him anyway. And she's very thankful to my mom for allowing me to keep her. We weren't sure if I was going to be allowed to keep her at first, but they conceded. And Lucy is very, very, very thankful that they allowed that to happen. Because without it, I'm not sure I could have pulled this off. She just loves everybody. She loves me. She loves everyone. But we should keep going so that we can help her.
Is there anything Lucy is upset with Bob or wants him to do for her at this point?
No. She's not upset at all.
Okay. Bob doesn't believe in intervening in the death process. You said earlier it would be natural, so he should not worry about that.
Many people would say otherwise, but at this point it will likely be a natural passing.
Okay. He wants to know how Lucy wants to spend her time. Should he spend it with her or give her some space?
Everyone should come see her.
Okay.
And then we should just love and support her as we always do.
Should Bob take her to Port Huron with him? Or should they spend the next few days here?
I don't know. It's kind of up to Bob, but probably stay here. He needs to be with Alysse. They need to be together as a family. Larry needs to be here, probably. I'm getting the sense that Lucy will pass at the condo.
Okay. Once she does pass, I want to know what he should be doing, if he should take her.
Bury her in Port Huron.
Okay.
Bob needs to return to that house for the course of his entire life.
Okay.
It will always be his safe place. A big part of that is Lucy.
What parting advice can you give for Bob in regards to Lucy at this time?
Love her. It's a confusing time when people transition. Just help her.
There's a couple of other little questions, but we could probably forego those.
She's not suffering, but it's not very comfortable either. I'm just saying Lucy is not.
Are there any other questions that Bob should be covering today?
We just want to make it clear that if things keep trending in this direction, it does not look favorable for Lucy, but there's a small chance things could change. There's variables to everything. Just have to take it one moment in time.
What parting advice can you give for Bob today?
Pardon? Can you say that again?
What parting advice can you give for Bob today?
Lean on those around you and draw on the good memories. Love Lucy and enjoy her while she's here. It's unclear exactly what's going to happen, but be prepared. You have been up to this point. Continue to do so. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay, Dad.
Bob's final question was...
And I'm not sure if Bob will ever listen back to this tape. But Bob needs to know that Lucy loves him so much. Words cannot put it. It's very hard to put into context how much love Lucy has for Bob. And we just really want Bob to understand that. This was a good relationship. And while this is a difficult transition, it's going to be okay in time.
It's going to be an extremely unique experience because you're going to create a property in West Virginia and you're going to create basically a Galactic Federation outpost, and then Mako is going to carry on the legacy, and then Mako's children, Lucy, is going to continue on the Galactic Federation outpost. How beautiful a story is that? The dog that Bob loved and carried and cared for and showed unconditional love to grew so much as a soul that she chose to reincarnate in your family through Mako so that she could carry on Bob's work. That's how passionate that being was about her relationship with Bob. She made the choice to reincarnate after her lifetime with Bob. She's turning right back around and coming back to you.
so that she can carry on your work, learn from Mako. And then she will carry on that work, and she will pass along to her offspring. And this work will continue. And there's a decent probability that you may reincarnate on your own land in the future, should you have to come back to Earth for some reason. What an interesting situation. But this outpost will heal many souls. It will be a beacon of hope for many, many people. It will be... I'm not supposed to give up too much of this. But your future is beautiful.
As always, a big thanks to our patrons for your ongoing support of the channel, allowing us to do this work, and to you for checking out our content. To hear more of our work, check out the various playlists here on the channel, and head over to our Patreon for the stuff that we can't release publicly on YouTube, as well as membership tiers with discounts on your next online session with us. If you're interested in finding your purpose for incarnating on Earth, where your soul comes from, how you can best navigate your life, and hearing ideal advice by you, for you, check out the links in the description for booking an online session with Alysse or myself today. We look forward to learning and growing with you. I'll talk to you in the comments and see you in the next one.